one of my friends is an investigator for the Buchanan County Sheriff's Office. He's actually been doing it longer than I have, and we work together a lot. He was the main investigator for a case where a young girl was murdered in Buchanan County. He got called at his house to respond. He got dressed, got in his squad car. He's heading to the scene, and his son called him. His son is a Cedar Rapids Police Department officer, and his son called him on the cell phone and said, "Hey, what's going on with this?" And his dad said, "Well, I don't know for sure yet. I haven't got there." And his son says, "Well, you want to hear what they got on Facebook?" The primary investigator had not even gotten to the scene yet, and people were putting information about that case on Facebook. Now, how hard would it be for him as an investigator to protect that information for the investigation and hopefully for the eventual prosecution? How hard was it going to be for him to protect that information? Okay? So that's kind of the other end of the spectrum on information getting out there. We want you to know if there's a threat out there, if there's a bad guy out there that is going to endanger the public or the people in the public. We want you to know that. We're going to tell you that. If they're not, if that threat isn't out there, we may tell you that. We may not. We may not know if there's a threat. And the reason I say that leads us to another point. When it comes to technology, everybody's sitting here with smartphones. It's actually part of the class now, right? Everybody's sitting here with computers. It's actually part of the class. There's something called the CSI effect. How many of you have ever watched any of the CSI shows? Okay? How many of you think that's reality? Okay, the only one of the cop shows that I ever watch, NCIS. Anybody here watch that one? I've been fortunate enough, I actually got to train with NCIS. Okay? That's not reality. And here's the example that I use. If we go to a murder trial, okay, people just like you sitting in this room are going to be the jurors. So what would you expect me as a trained, experienced investigator, what kind of evidence would you expect me to put in front of you as a juror? What do you think?
Something dynamic and exciting.
Okay. Specifically, what would you expect?
Like piles of blood and
DNA
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. How about cell phone forensics? Would you expect me to produce cell phone forensics? Okay. Juries today expect us to do that. How about computer forensics? Think if there was a computer involved, somebody was talking about it, you know, they're chatting back and forth about, I really hate this person, I'm going to go shoot them. We probably want to present that, right? I'll give you an example of reality, a couple examples of reality. Once in my career, I had the #1 priority in the DNA section at the state crime lab. How long on the TV shows does it take them to get DNA results back?
Hours.
Few hours, few minutes sometimes. I had the #1 priority one time in my career. It took me 5 days to get that information back. It doesn't work the way it does on TV. Computers is even worse. I still have 2 federal child porn cases that are pending. Part of the reason they're still pending, we did a search warrant in March of 2014 and we seized a computer. We sent it in to be examined for child porn. The report on that computer came back September of 2015. Okay, seized it, March of 2014, got the report finally, September 2015. And that was through an organization that's actually tasked, their job is to work child porn cases. But there are so few people trained to do those cases that the examiners are so far backlogged that that's how long it takes. Now there are times that if we have a trial pending or something like that, we can bump things up in the queue and try and get it done a little sooner. But that is the reality. The reality is it takes time for us to process this information. The reality is the day that the bodies were found out at the park at Seven Bridges, the number of investigators that I had to process the scene that day was 2. The other investigators were tied up doing interviews with the people that found the bodies, working with the family of the victims, and all this other kind of stuff. But the day they were found, I had 2 of us to work that scene. Now, we had more help coming. And once we actually started the full process of working that scene, we had more help. But that day, there was 2 of us. Okay?
Can you talk a little bit about the relationship of law enforcement and media, and how people who are in this class can benefit from your experience and mine, if they're public information officers, or they're work for the FBI, or just in any other capacity as reporters, or
Sure.
spokespersons of organizations?
Big thing between media and law enforcement is trust. And we talked about this in the first class, okay? And to me, that's a two-way street. Would you all not agree? Okay? What's your first name?
Emma.
Emma. See, I'm gonna interrupt you so you can't film me as well. Okay? So, if I ask Emma something, or Emma asks me a question, let me put it this way. Emma asked me about something, and Anelia has had this happen with me, and I've said, well, I will tell you, but I don't want this on the record. I don't want it to appear in print or anywhere else, okay? I want you to keep this off the record, and she has agreed, okay? If I tell Emma something like that, she agrees, and then all of a sudden it pops out, am I gonna trust Emma? Is Emma ever gonna be able to come to me and I'm gonna trust her again to give her information? No. Vice versa, if Emma asks me about something and I intentionally lie to her, okay, is she ever gonna trust me then? So it's gotta be a two-way street, all right? There are things that I can't tell you, and there's been things that Anelia has asked me about, and I told her I can't talk about that with you, okay? It's not because I don't trust Anelia, it's not because I don't like her or anything like that, it's because I hope that these cases will eventually be prosecuted. I want there to be a suspect sitting in front of a judge and a jury, and that judge and jury decide that that person is guilty of that crime and sentence them appropriately. And if I give information out that could damage that process, then I've failed in my mind. Okay? So I'm going to do everything I can to protect that information. You literally don't know what's going to become important. And I wish I could think of an appropriate example offhand, and I really can't. But you never really can predict what's going to be important. And a defense attorney might seize on a very minute piece of information and make that the focal part of their case. I'm not a defense attorney, so I don't know what that's going to be.
You told the other class, and they